Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in our History of Graphic Design introduction videos. So today we are going to be talking about lithography and stone printing. I mentioned this in the last video that this would be something that's really helpful to graphic designers and very important to us. So let's get right into it. So the origin of modern printing that we know it involved, would you believe me if I said it involved expensive limestone from Bavaria? I didn't think so, unless you know your history. So stone lithography was a technique developed by Alois Senefelder in 1798, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. This was a process that was very revolutionary. He could reproduce medieval and Renaissance style painting with just stein, oil, and paint. So what does this have to do with modern printing? The techniques that he used to recreate these medieval and Renaissance style paintings is exactly the same that we use for printing today. So stone lithography was developed right at the end of the 18th century. It was a process by which stone, and by stone we're talking about limestone, the limestone from Bavaria, it was smoothed to sanded down to a very smooth, flat surface. So then you would think of whatever you were going to paint, and then you'd paint it using a special crayon or an oily substance called an oily touche. So you'd paint it on however large you were going to make it, and then once it's drawn, it's then prepped with gum arabic, and then it's sanded down again with nitric acid, and then it's sanded down again until the only thing that's sort of left is the very slightest hint of the original image, and then the gum arabic is reapplied and buffed down once again. Then turpentine is sprinkled on and rubbed into the surface there, and it removes the sort of greasy drying marks. Once all that is done, a non-drying black ink roller is rolled over the image until it becomes visible. So what happens is that the oil will stick to the gum arabic and the crayon and all the stuff that we've applied. It will only stick to the portions of the wax and such. So the only thing you'll see is the painting, or seeing the outline of the painting. So you're thinking, okay, that's just black paint. Well, how did they recreate it in color? Well, what they did was there was a spin on lithography. So these Renaissance paintings that had all these vibrant colors, they were reproduced by using different colored inks. This is different from what we know with normal lithography. So what happens is you'd have 4 slabs of limestone prepped the exact same way, except for when you apply the ink. Each slab would be inked with a different color: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Does it sound familiar? Well, to make sure that the image on the paper is properly aligned when you plant it down, you had these little marks called registration marks to keep them aligned with the stone. And then you'd press the paper, you'd put the paper on top, and then you'd press it down, pull it off, go to the next slab, press it down, pull it off, press it down, pull it off, press it down, pull it off, and then what you wind up with is a very beautiful lithographic painting that is very, very reminiscent of this time period, of the Renaissance time period and such. So that meant that people could make these paintings in color without having to go through painters or such. You still had to know how to draw the original picture, but you could still make really nice quality paintings without having to go through the huge process of painting, so to say. So what does this have to do with us? Well, this is exactly how we print today. Instead of stone, we have metal plates that apply the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black ink onto a piece of paper to create our multicolored images. And then the concept of registration marks comes from this time period of lithographic stone paintings, with the registration marks on the stone, to nowadays with registration marks making sure that the printer plates are all lined up and such. Now, granted, printing has become much more advanced in the most modern years. We can print in more than just the 4 colors. Pantone for example, has emerged as a leading company for new colors, and then the printing machine themselves have become much more sophisticated in their design. In addition to that, the ability for us to apply multiple rolls of ink. A sample printing press that I know of is usually, if you've ever seen the inside of a massive printing press, it is a sight to behold, because you'll see the printing machines all lined up one after another in a sort of modular fashion. So you'll have 4 of them. That will be the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. But then you can add further machines after that to apply more colors. So they'll release a specific type of, red that you want to apply, or blue, or green, or purple, something that you can't get mixed, that you can just get there and that will apply it. That is another thing with Pantone, with what they've done, is that you can order a specific Pantone color and then one of the machines can have that Pantone color mixed in order to print. So it was a very, very wonderful development for graphic designers, because as we know today, one of the largest things that graphic designers are taught today is in regards to printmaking and such like that. And that will be it for this video. This one's probably a very short, because this is just very focused on this very key aspect of printing. In the next video, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which will be the birth of our modern graphic design conventions with the Crystal Palace. So I look forward to seeing